welcome back there, lantern enthusiasts and all, to the lab. Welcome. So we have, this is an interesting, it's an interesting project. It's in pretty bad shape. You like my plinth? My rotating plinth? I just got it at Goodwill for like $2.69. That'll be good for showcasing things and kind of looking at them for things like this, like, how off kilter is it? Yeah, this is really off kilter, but I don't know about recovering that. I don't know because it has squished the air tube. You can't. Can you see? You can kind of. Yeah, you can see where it has squished it down. I may try putting like a clamp on it and see if I can kind of build it up a little bit, bring it up. But there's some welds in there need to be fixed. Solders, welds, you know what I'm saying. We'll know more once I get this cleaned up a little more. This thing's toasty though. Look at that. I don't know. And I'm like, oh good. I'm gonna take this whole assembly off. Well, I would have to desolder those. I don't know. I don't know how far I'm gonna take it with this. But by the way, this is a CT Ham Scout. At least it was. It is a Scout. And yeah, let's I get this baby on the let's look this thing over. I know it needs a burner. I should have a number 0 burner somewhere, I'm sure. From a ham. I got a number of hams that are donating parts. So we'll see what we got. If we even get that far. And this seems to be a thumb lift or a finger lift here, which does not move at all. And these things are all kind of bent up and screwy. So yeah, it is off kilter by quite a lot. So here we go, CT Ham Scout. Let's check it out. All right, so okay, that comes out. That's good. That'll help us with some access to things. Yeah, it's toasted a little bit. Ooh, it's kind of bonded. Yeah, it's rusted in. Oh, son of a gun. Come on now. Wow, it's like stuck to it. Rusted right in. And it's glass, so we gotta be careful. There we go. Break that bond a little bit. Nice fatty. Nice fatty. Wow, that's got some weird manufacturer weirdness going on there. Huh. Cool. Well, it's not the right one for this thing, but when we get to that, we'll worry about that. I'm sure I got a couple sexy globes that'll pop in there. Keepers. Wow. Yeah, this is toasty, man. I'm using the brush to kind of a feeler to know what I'm dealing with here. Ooh, that is toasty. But, and so what avenue am I going to take with this? Am I going to be just one of these? I'm just going to just get it to run. Maybe I'll just do that and see if I can make it work. You know that is going to be on there. And this is super delicate type too. So I'm gonna oil that up while we, I'm definitely going to go right to the bench grinder with this thing. There we go. Let some Croyle do some thing. If anything, there's a cap here for something that's going to need it. If I can get it off. Oh! Oh, look at all the nuts. Holy shit. Okay. This. Holy shit. Did not feel like there was that much crap in there. Oh, man. All right. Oh, my God. It's still coming out. I'm assuming there's not going to be a carcass in here. I'm only assuming. Something was in there eating these things because these are all eaten. All these nuts. Well, this little varmint was a specialist. He liked one kind of nut. I wonder what kind of nut that is, and I wonder if it's indigenous to my area here, or this thing had a life somewhere else. Yeah, like I said, I may try putting like a clamp on there and try to squeeze it and hope to kind of bring that up a little bit. But also the top of the fount is, well, top of the fount is not really compromised at all. Well, I mean, yeah, it's pretty much all the air tube is what has caused a problem there. We'll see. We'll see what I can do with that. If we get that far. I just want to make sure that this isn't all gonna... I mean, this will still be useful. Right? I can still make... I think I can make this work. I think I can make it work. And, you know, and it's looking kind of promising down in here. First, I'm going to get rid of that first, because that's bugging me. Yeah. It's, yeah. Okay, it came out a little bit. Good. All right, let me go see what's the deal is with this metal. I'll get it on the bench grinder here. Oh, boy. Okay, CT Ham Scout. I'll be back in a minute. Well, I'll tell you what. Look at that. One little pinhole in the bottom. Oh, there's two. Okay. But look at that. I thought this was going to be just like completely gone in here. But, boy, overall, boy, I mean, except for this globe plate, oh, boy. Globe plate and this bend up tube. Not bad here, man. Not bad for something that, you know, when I got it out of the box, I bought a box full of lanterns. They were all just kind of all chewed up like this. And I'm like, oh, yeah, that's junk. No parts at all. But, hey, all right. Okay, let's see what you got going on here. All right, let's set this with a junk bit for sure. This needs a lot of junk bit work. Let me see. Okay, here's a good one. We'll start with that. Maybe I'll start a fresh junk bit with this thing. But, yeah, this is going to need there's some heavy oxidation here. I haven't tried the cap yet, but maybe I will add a little more Kroil. There we go. Okay, bail came out. All right. We'll do a little bending back of that when we put it back on. All right, so. Yeah, I'm not going to do any bending back of stuff until I get a little more cleaned up and we know how things slide around. And, you know, like if we get a structural failure here, then we're toast. We're toast with this whole thing. This becomes parts. I don't have another Scout. I have another, I have like 2 or 3 hot blast hams that are for parts, but they do not have this same thumb lift going on here. Okay, junk bit. There we go. Let's do some junk bit. let's I'm gonna do a little bending back here. These tracks. See if I can do it without busting the original solder. Okay. Okay, well, I'm gonna need another tool, get around in here and figure out exactly what I want to do there. Because it seems like they're supposed to be there like that, but with a little springiness in them. So close. All right, let me, gotta get a wheel on here. Play around. Come on now, there's a fresh one. Need some junky ones because this is a junky job. Okay, so I'll use up some of these junkers before doing a fresh one. I pretty much killed the junk bit. And no surprise, I mean, look at this thing. You can light matches on any inch of that. So yeah, I killed that. Yeah, these things are all bent to hell. All right, let's see here. So I got one of these. Yeah, I'm trying to bend it back. I kind of knew that was going to happen. I was going to lose the solder here, but that's okay. I think I could just reheat the solder that's there and reposition it. But I want to anchor this somehow. All right, so I got that clamped. So, gonna re-hit that solder there. Let me get my stuff out, just in case I need to add a little bit of solder to that. Oh man. With a big glob of solder. I want to get a little bit of that off there. Yeah, it's a pretty massive glob. All right. Now, in the meantime, I want to think about all that. Give that a minute to cool. I'm going to think about this air tube. So here's what I'm thinking. I'd like to try. I think we don't need the solder or the torch anymore. I don't think. Oh, that one's still solid, and it looks to be lined up. Hard to tell what's lined up here. All right, so what I'm thinking here is I want to squeeze this part of the air tube here, hoping to, because right now it's shaped like that. If I can squeeze it like that and get some shape back in it, it's a little sandwiched. I don't know if it's going to work, but I'm just, you know, thinking of metal dynamics here. But I need a bigger surface area here. So, what do I have? I got washers. Oh, Jesus Christ. Oh, man. I just heard that thing roll across the room. Thank God that's not something I need real bad. Because that's the way things happen in this lab, man. You drop them on the floor here, and for some reason, they roll all over. All right, I think what I should do is get a level and see if the angle actually changes. Hold on a minute, let me find my level. Okay, well, it is peaked all the way to the side. All right, well, I can't measure in degrees or anything, but I am going to check as I twist this thing. I do see it moving. I see the angle going up. I do. It's still maxed, but I see it moving. All right, I'm gonna get it off and see, make sure I wasn't completely butchering things. Change our angle a little bit, and it got the, yeah, but it's still crushed. Still crushed. Down on the bottom there. It's crushed into the fount. Now we got some shape back to it, and it went up a little bit. Well. It's gonna be a leaner. It's gonna be a leaner, folks. Yeah, I can't think of any way, unless they desoldered the whole air tube and got it out of there and bend it back and put it back on. No. Okay. So, we got some soldering, some little gaps to fill in there. Got a little bit bigger since I changed the shape, and that's okay. We'll fill them in. All right, I need some pointy bit action to get in some of these crevices. And then I'm gonna start tackling all these wires and this globe guard here. Okay, well, that was not a failed experiment. It was not completely successful. It was just very, very, very minorly successful. That was cool. All right, learned something new there. Trying that out. All right, let me clean up here. Hold on a minute. Okay, pointy bit action. This is a highly destroyed pointy bit, but it still works. So let's do some cleaning up here. Get in all these junky gaps. Okay, so what this thing needs is a fresh junk bit to get at these little spots that I need to get at. And I know that a fresh wheel won't get there, but this should. It's all an angles thing. It's just an angles game. Yeah, I toasted that. That's done. So here we go. Fresh junk bit. And it's what a junk bit looks like when it's new. So I needed to get yeah, some of these little corners here with this edge. While it has an edge, I'm going to use it. And this is one of the Walmart versions of the Dremel tool that had a manufacturer flaw, and they're all spinning freely. So this one is super glued. We'll see now if that super glue has held, because otherwise it'll just sit there and spin and not do what it's supposed to do. Well, I mean, it's supposed to spin, but not freely, not of its own free will. It needs to be controlled by this thing. Okay, now let's get some spots. All right. So let's take a little crack, no pun intended, at this cap. I'm going to give it a little bit of leverage and see. Oh, that's so great. Great. That makes me feel so much better about this project, because I was really afraid that this was just going to... I've had a couple caps like this, and they were just kind of disintegrated. But this one, all right, we got plenty of meat. Now I can look in the fount and see what things are looking like. Okay, we will clean that up. We'll clean this up. Surprisingly, it doesn't... Oh, there's a wick. Awesome. No burner, but there's a wick. It was in there amongst all those seeds. Yeah, I'll definitely need a rinsing out. But yeah, you know what? I can still see tin on the bottom. I mean, there's a layer of oxidation on top, but it doesn't look bad at all, considering this thing had no burner in it for a long time, and something was freaking putting nuts in there. Very cool. Probably gonna want to. I'm gonna put a chain in there and roll it around with some soapy water. Get all that cleaned out for sure before we go any further with, like, you know, trying to light this thing up and treat the tank and all that kind of junk. All right. Let's see. Let me clean out. Well, first. Doesn't seem to be any insect issues with this, but varmint. Looks to be vermint. Okay, so we'll clean that up. I'm going to clean up the inside of these threads. Alright, so I have these 120 grit bits that I'd never use for lanterns, really, unless they're really chewed up like this. So I'm going to use this 120. I have a number of these I haven't used up. So there it is after about, I don't know, 20 minutes of using the junk bit. It's still very effective, but the edge is gone. The edge that I needed was gone really quickly. All right, 120 grit nylon bit. And this will be good for the wires because, as you can see by looking at it, you see that stripe in the middle. There are two pads put together. So that's what makes this great for me for doing wires and things that really need to work. So it'll follow, it'll go in the groove, and it'll get the top and the two sides. So you do like the front and the back, and you get them all cleaned up. Pretty cool. So now ones that were, I wouldn't use this for anything other than ones that are just this badly chewed that need the work. So let me work on these wires, if it'll work. We'll see. If I end up destroying like a couple of these in a couple of seconds, I'm not going to use these. I'll find some other way. But tell you what, man, except for that glow plate and that crushed thing here, this Scout's pretty nice, man. Tell you what, it's gonna work. I'll tell you right now, this thing's gonna work. It'll work. The tank looks great. I'll just clean it out and I'll seal it. Boom. But I gotta find a burner. I gotta find a burner for it. So after I do that, maybe I'll go searching around at the hams and see. Maybe we'll have to go Frankenstein and find something from something else. Yeah, I wonder what other hams had the same burner as the Scout. I was assuming they wouldn't have made a burner unique to it, unlike the new style. Okay, let's clean some wires. Now it's kind of time to take an 800 grit to the entire thing. So I destroyed 3 of those bits, 3 of those 120s, but like I said, I have a surplus of those. I haven't had much use for them. But here we go. So 800 grit, and then I think I'll tackle the soldering of the air tube down there on the bottom. Get those gaps filled in. Yeah, that is all nylon. That's all gold nylon from those bits getting chewed up. They had to work pretty hard on these wires, and these wires are shot, but they look a lot better now. And this is all anchored, and that's cool. Thumb lift is thumb lifting. It's interesting. I'm not seeing any. I haven't really looked, but I haven't seen any markings. Patent numbers or anything. They're not on the center tube. Yeah. Nowhere. That's interesting. Does that say something about the date? I don't know. But we do have CT Ham Scout, Rochester, New York. Made in USA, number 0 hot blast. Okay, so let's do the nylon bit, And then I'll do some touching up and make sure that these are super clean, and then we'll throw some solder in them gaps. Let's do it. Oh, God. Shit. Alright, well. Son of a bitch. Come on, man. Come on. Wow. Wow. Well, at least I didn't completely destroy it. Oh, boy. Okay. Oh, man. Let's continue. All right, let's clean up these solders. By the way, so as I always say on the channel, make do with what you got, right? So I needed a little. I've been looking all summer for a little small tabletop anvil. You know, at a flea market for a couple of bucks. Couldn't find one. And you know what? Make do with what you got. Went in the barn, found a sledgehammer head. JB welded it to an old plate from a electrical box. So what I can do with this is right there, and if I want to clamp it with a big old clamp, boom, right there, clamp it to the table, and I got a big old heavy surface to do all kinds of, and it's JB welded. Like I said, this is a little tabletop anvil, so I mean, I'm not worried about that weld it. A lot of the reason was to level it, make it nice and level. It's not tick-tocking. It's just a little bit here on top. It's not as much as it is on the sides here, as you can see by the shape. But yeah, that is my little anvil. And now it's our little support here. So, okay, so let's clean it up a little bit. Ooh, wow, that's a good sized gap. I'm curious whether I'll be able to fill that or if it's just going to fall through. We'll see. Okay, all the solders are still good on that side. All right, let's heat this up a little bit and see if I can fill that gap. Actually, maybe I want to do it like that because of pooling and such. Oh, almost gapped that hole up. Darn it all. What happened there? How did that... All right, well, let's see here. Find us a hand burner. Remember, well, that's a hand burner. We don't want that one, do we? That might be one. Nope. We don't want a pass-through bayonet like that. We want one like that. That's a Dietz. We want something like this. This might be a little too tall. Yeah, I'm not going to be able to get cone on that. I mean, it's technically it'll function, but it's yeah. I don't know. I'm going to have to continue to search. Yeah. How's that for a Dietz? The size of that monster. Alright, that's a Dietz. Yeah. Too big, too big, too big. Too new. Too big. Too new. Maybe. This one seems a bit more appropriate. So if I find a burner that'll fit underneath that, and that matches here pretty good. It doesn't have the little tabs there for clicking in. Okay, now let me do one little quick search of the boxes, but I'm pretty sure I took all the burners out of things. All right, I shall return. Okay, well, I'm not finding anything, so, well, we'll come back to that. Right now I'm going to steel wool it, and it looks like this massive gap here showed up. See all that there? So obviously when I heated the solder, all the solder that was blocking that fell in. So I don't know how to fill that gap with solder without putting something behind it. So I am going to get a little bit of tank putty. Well, it's a JB Welded, but it's made a little bit that you can stick on there. Well, maybe I'll do weld it. Maybe weld it will take up a lot less space. We'll do that at the same time I treat the tank. We'll put some JB Welded, or I'll put some of that tank putty on there. Okay, so let me steel wool this baby. I'm gonna use this chewed up steel wool because this lantern is chewed up. Oh yeah, I was gonna go and oh yeah, we need to do that before we fill the tank. So let me go do the chain idea in the sink first. Here, let me get my chain. I have to move 5 million things. Get at it. Okay. So I'm going to take this chain here. I'm going to put it in the fount, hot soapy water. I'm going to shake it around like a maraca. And yeah, clean out that tank. So in that way it'll dry up real nice, and when I'm done here we can treat it. Okay, I'm gonna go do that right now so I can get it drying out. All right, so we're gonna plug this up. Yeah, tank weld. This is the stuff. It's an epoxy putty, and I bought this over a year ago, and I've been using it for a couple of things, applications around the house. And because of the small amount I'm gonna need, I'm just gonna make a little of this rather than mixing up JB Welded. We're gonna have pretty much the same result. Oh, wait a minute. What do I want to cut this with? I don't want to get this crap all over this blade. November And we're just going to fill this little gap, so we're not going to need much of this at all. So the deal is with these is that it's like JB Weld, that they got the two different chemicals, or whatever you want to call them, or ingredients that are not epoxy until they are blended. So you take this and you blend it until it's all a consistent color, and this will be our tank putty that I'll press a little bit of it in there. And of course I made too much. I mean, what the heck, I always do that. Over to you, Ernie, KD2BRN. November 3 Alpha Mike X-ray. And this stuff will start setting pretty quick. Okay, so now let's get a little bit of this. I'll make a little, kind of like playing with Play-Doh, right? We're not going to need anywhere near as much as I made here, but okay. So the more I'm touching it, I'm making it worse by touching it. And I'm not going to put any on the bottom for those holes. I'm just going to treat the tank. All right, so as you can see, we got that gap filled in there with some of this putty. And look at all the extra I got. Man, do I have something else I could pop? Yeah, right. Hey, that's here. I'm going to try that. Look, we got this hole here. Hey, I'm just going to try it real quick, just because this is fun. It's fun stuff. I'm going to try to fill up this little hole here and help flatten out the top of this. Now it's my anvil. Oh, look at that. The acetone's getting that old paint off of there. All right. Let's have some fun. I'll just pack it in there and then I'll sand it down when it's all hard. Good stuff today. So okay, cool. So, and it keeps sticking to me, so I'm having trouble trying to manipulate it, but we'll sand it down. Any other holes in here I want to fill up? Nope. But I'm gonna pack it under here. I don't know why I'm doing this. I'm just bored, and I got this leftover stuff here. Hey, why not? Might as well just pack it in here and have it be an extra element of support. This metal's cold. I don't know what that's going to do for any kind of bonding. I'm wetting my finger with acetone to kind of keep my finger from sticking to it. There we go. Do that. It's like working with clay. Pretty cool. And now that I still have this acetone out, I am seeing that it got rid of a lot of this paint. Might as well play with it for a minute. Get rid of some paint. That's not like a little side job. But that's the thing. I that's what I love about my lab here. I'm enjoying doing this. So that's why I'm doing it, because I am enjoying it, and it's just, let's just mess with everything in the shop. Why not? I'm just playing, killing some time. We're going to treat this in a minute, or I'm sorry, we're going to treat the tank. We're gonna put some seal all in it, and then that'll be it for the rest of the afternoon, because that's going to take quite a while to set. And then we'll have the issue of burner and crown. I'm not worried about a globe. I got plenty of globes. But we're going to make this thing work. I'm sure it'll work. I don't know about having all that great a seal on around the burner from what I pick out. We'll see. Okay, well, anvil played with. We played around with there, and we filled in that. So when this is all dry, I'll sand it down. Why? I don't know. It's fine. All right. So that is tank weld. It's pretty versatile stuff. And it's cool because like you can travel with this in your car, and you don't have to worry about mixing the two together. You know, you could have it in your car, or, you know, your emergency little toolkit. Good to have. Now what? Oh yeah, treat the tank. So I had gone to the sink, and I swished the chain around in there for a good 10 minutes. Oh yeah, that looks a lot better. That looks real nice. Cool. I can see the bottom of it. Yeah, inside this tank does not look bad at all. Nice. Nice. All right, so let's do this. We'll treat the tank, and then we'll take a break. Probably after dinner, we'll come back. There's my little clip. It's not like this is pristine and I gotta worry about, you know, getting shit all over stuff, but this is just a practice that I like to continue to keep the seal all off the rest of things. This idea came to me after having a medical procedure or 3 or 4 done. It just made me think about what, you know, the nurse does to kind of, and the doctor and all that. Yeah. All right. So this is not going to need, I'm not even going to need to put tape on the bottom, because those pinholes are just so tiny. All right, so I'll listen to my ham radio and switch this around, and all right, great. All right, let me do a little agitation of this, and I'll be back. Okay, so we have it all. Agitated. Should have the entire circumference, the whole bottom and up the sides, treated with Seal All. So, what we'll do now is let that cure. I'll put it in the sun, and then tomorrow, or later tonight, maybe we'll fire this baby up. I mean, we'll treat it, make it look real nice. Let's see. I mean, heck. See, now this one, we got this little wall here is a little bit taller. And also the bucket on the bottom. Oh, okay. N3AMX, if you didn't already sign, I'll look forward to hearing you later. With the group WA3VJB. That fits. But boy, oh boy, this burner is ill. I'm going to clean this up. Let me clean this up while we're here. Because it's fun. I'm not going to use that. Let me go to the bench grinder, clean this up. Of course, this is not. Of course, I have numerous radios going at once here. I like it. And I apologize if the camera picks up that kind of noise over my voice, but I don't think. I think phones these days are kind of, the software is made to recognize human voices probably over anything. All right. This seems to be functioning proper. Little catch there. Looks like it's got, it's a tooth missing. But we'll clean this up. Doesn't have to be perfect. It'll match this thing perfectly, actually. If you look at it, the top of this perfectly matches that globe plate. You know what I mean? All right, let me clean this up. I'll be right back. All right, so we might be good there. I don't know, here's a wick. Where's the wick? Is it the wick that was in it? No, this is the wick that was in it. Let me see what kind of shape this is in. If I can get this cleaned up, we're going to use it. We are going to use it because it was in there. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to go clean that up. All right, folks. We'll put this in with the other vintage, because it's a little short. So if I need another one, I got another one in here in the vintage box. All right, let me go clean this up. And then I'll be back in a couple hours after all this is cured up and everything. And then we'll take it from there. We'll treat it. I didn't steel wool it. I had started to steel wool it until I worried about the tank. I can't believe the bottom is in that good shape. Little tiny pinholes. You get pinholes like that in something that's a couple years old. It's nuts. It's great. Love it. And here I am turning it upside down with treatment in the tank. All right, I'm gonna go clean this up. And all right, we will all be back just like that. Okay, so it has not been enough time. I just stuck my finger down in there. Well, I don't know if you saw the steel wooling or not, because it stopped recording on me. Yeah, this has been a norm. Been a norm for things with my camera since, or my phone, since I did an update. Oh, so I washed the wick that was in here. It's shot, but I'm still gonna throw it in here. All right, so let me check the tackiness to make sure that a wick isn't going to stick to it, so we can put it in there. Oh yeah, a wick is going to stick to it. Okay. Well, we'll keep this out to kind of get a look at it. So we'll throw the yeah. You know what I'm talking about. All right, so let's oil this baby up. can't wait to see what this looks like. Oh, it's got to replenish. You have to replenish. My linseed oil here with kerosene. Linseed oil gets very cakey if you leave it on stuff. You don't want to leave it on stuff. I don't clean these well enough after I'm done with them. I should like have something like, I don't know, something to just kind of leave it in. All right, let's see what things are looking like here. I'm using a small brush because all my big brushes are pretty toasted. All right, let's take a peek, see how things look here. I'm going to take this out for this because I want to see what this looks like in there when it's all assembled. Looks like it was made. No, it doesn't look like it was made for it. Oh well. But hey, what do you want? What do you want, right? Here we go. And where's my globe? Got a nice sexy globe for it. Oh boy. Yeah, it's off. But it's cool. Freaking love it. I like it, man. All right, I'm going to put that off there. We're going to come back to this and fire it up tomorrow, but let's come on down and take a look. All right, there we have it, man. I can't believe this is the same thing. This is great. I'm loving it. CT Ham Scout. Very cool. And I think this will be fully functional. I mean, we'll see if there's an issue with this burner and cone, but I don't think so. I think we'll be just fine. Just fine, just fine. So, made in USA. Number 0 Hot Blast. CT Ham Company Scout Rochester. Very nice. And I saw no pat numbers or anything anywhere on here. They may have just been rusted out of it. Who knows? Folks, that's all right. So that's going to do it for this portion, and I'll be back. And this will be all dried out on the inside, and we'll fire it up. Very cool. All right, I'll be back in a minute. All right, so we're the next day, and it is all dried out in there. So now we can do some assembly. And it's nice thumb lift right there. Very cool. All right, so get that out of there while we assemble. Very nice. Donated burner. Going in. Donated cone. That is rickety, but I think we have enough tightness to it to make sure the air goes where it needs to go. All right, we got the cap. Good, good. We got the keeping the cap off because we're gonna put kerosene in it. There's our nice cleaned up bale. It's so crooked. It's so crooked, but I like it. All right, so let's get some fluid in here. All right, let me fuel her up here. First, we'll see if she holds fuel. Oh, part of the label coming off my antique fuel can. All right, so we have kerosene on board. Now, to wash all the seams, switch it around. All it took was one little drip that come down. It's because of the viscosity of kerosene. One little drip came down here and it followed this seam all the way. I can see it goes from there around to there. So that's what makes it really hard to find where the weep is if you have a weeping fount, which is a very, very slow leaking fount. All right, so we'll put this on here, and we're gonna wait a little for the. Let me just look to make sure that we have our wick is down in the fuel. Yep, I see it. Okay, it is dangling in the fuel. So we'll let this sit for a minute and let that wick do its wicking. And then we'll fire this thing up. I'm excited. And that's why Supervise the Baby is not lit right now, because, hey, we're going to fire this baby up. All right, I'll be back in a sec. Okay, let's fire it up. I have my new little plinth, my little rotating plinth to showcase. I'm wanting to do this because I did get video of this before I started this restoration. Just how beat up and crazy, weird this beat up this thing was looking. All right, so now let's light her up. See what happens. Nice flame. Look at that. Great flame. Great number 0 flame. All right, let's there we go. Nice. That burner's doing real good. Yeah. Nice flame. Great flame. All right. Very cool. You can see how crooked it is. Well, let's there. Let me get a better angle here. Doesn't look awful though, does it? It's off. It's off, and on every angle's off, but it's great. I love it. CT Ham Scout. Hot Blast. Number 0 Hot Blast. With a couple donated parts. All right, folks, that is going to do it. That is great. I'm so glad that this is complete and it's working. There's a difference between lighting it and getting it to hold fuel so you can light it. Then that's what I go for. So, very cool. All right, folks, there we are. There we have it. And thank you so much for stopping by the lab once again. And as usual, don't you go changing.
We'll be back with the Magic Tunes for the Armada Room's 2-hour disco swing party after this short break. Till then, don't you go changing.
Ubu, sit. Good dog.